What's
Good
happening?
afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to you all. First of all, apologies for starting late, but I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful afternoon. Yoga is becoming more and more popular every day, not just for adults, but for children as well. Perhaps more important for special needs children. It can be used as an alternate therapy. Yoga can help increase concentration, flexibility, and strength. It can also develop coordination and reduce stress and anxiety. We can't forget the value of yoga can have to help a child become more aware of their body. There are a lot of benefits of yoga for children with special needs, and it is important to consider them all before deciding if yoga is the right fit for the child. Different techniques and postures will help in achieving patience and persistence. It helps individuals with learning disabilities feel assured of themselves and surroundings. To educate us more on yoga, we have experts with us here today. Mrs. Navaz Kamdin. She has been under her guru, Mr. BKS Iyengar, since she was 11 years old. And over the years, she has practiced under Guru himself, his daughter Geeta, and son Prashant. They have guided her to teach in schools, beginners classes, general classes, senior citizen classes, and medical classes, and pranayams. It can. It has been a long journey, and She hopes to help as many people as she can. Over to you, Nawaz Auntie.
Hello, Kevin. Thanks for calling me here. I'm glad to be over here and to discuss a few of my ideas with you all. Because nowadays, yoga has taken over the market. You see, yoga is an adhyatmic subject, a spiritual subject, but now it is very easily marketed. It is a business. And just as you have one God, but he's called by so many different names, you call him Allah, you call him whatever you want. You can call him Christ, you can call him Lord, you can call him Almighty, but he's the same entity. The same way, yoga is the same. It's only marketed with different names. You see? And the people are more and more gullible and they start running after these things according to their names, what suits them. They are big promises made. So suddenly overnight your child is going to become so intelligent, your child is going to be like this, and your child is going. Every parent in their hearts of hearts wants their child to come close to being normal. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? But you have to understand, a child of special needs, or for that matter, any child, there's a spiritual explanation that before a child is born, it is a child who chooses his parents, whether he wants this mother, this father, who he wants to nurture him, to guide him, or he wishes to guide them or nurture them accordingly and comes into that family. So he's God's gift to you. He or she is God's gift to you. So even if your child is not normal, it is a special blessing given to you. And this blessing will help you to cope up with what is best for your child. So there's so many things in yoga, and yoga can be taught to these children, provided you maintain a certain rules, identities, that people will tell you, oh, these children must be taught meditation. Now, what meditation can you teach such a child? They must be taught pranayam. What rubbish. what rubbish. I remember I was teaching in Israel, and over there, very intelligent ways. I have great regard for them. Uh, they approached me and said, now in the nursery schools, they started with meditation. You have to realize the circumstances under which the children grow. It's a war-torn country. All they think about, even on the phone, is where the bomb is bursting, or where this shell has fallen, what that has fallen. Children running to school with a big bag on their shoulders, hardly 2 feet off the floor. Immediately there's a siren, they slip on the floor. And you're wondering, oh my God, the siren is over, they get up and start running again back to school. That is how they are brought up. Even these children cannot do it. So when I was there, I wrote a message to my guru. Of course, he never used a computer ever, but his granddaughter was in between communicating with us. So I told her, please tell Guruji that this is the condition over here, and they want to teach these small children meditation, pranayam. Please, Guruji, come to our rescue. He wrote a very beautiful letter. I still have it with me. And when he said the children need to enjoy themselves, to enjoy their childhood, pranayam and meditation and all these things are not meant for them. Their span of understanding and concentration is very limited. So give them activities which will rejuvenate the body, rejuvenate the brain, so that they are not tamasic in body or in brain. There must be alertness in the body as well as alertness in the brain. Just letting them lie down over there, and you think that you sit down in cross leg and close your eyes and you go into meditation. I'm sorry. Even adults are not encouraged to go into meditation and pranayam. Do you know that? Because in our Shastras, especially Patanjali is very clear, the god of yoga has very clearly said, you have yama, niyama, then you have asana, then you have pranayam, then pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So unless you have practiced your asanas for a few years and you're able to control your body, I'm sorry, then only can you control your mind. And these small innocent children, they do not know how to breathe properly. Teach them how to breathe. You tell them, take a deep breath. This is the idea of breathing. Do you know that the breath only has to go till the clavicle or the collarbones where the lungs are? The breath must not hold the throat tight, nor your brain tight, nor do you breathe in such a way as if you're filling up air in your brain and the brain expands till it hits the top of the skull. All this is wrong. How are you going to explain it to the child when you yourself don't understand? So, brain, it's chest-oriented breathing, where from the bottom of the lungs, they learn to move the breath upwards towards the top of the lungs. Teach them that. Teach them to keep the chest well open. Posture is so important. But tell them that their armpit chest has to be kept open. Strangely, the armpit area is a reservoir for cosmic energy. The breath that we take in, the regular stuff, is okay. It is out of habit. But when you are mindfully doing pranayam or meditation, I will only stick to pranayam because meditation is also beyond you unless you are qualified in these streams. Then for pranayam also, the armpit chest has to be kept open, whether you are lying down in shavasana or whether you are sitting in swastikasana or padmasana or whatever you sit in. Because that is the reservoir for filling up cosmic energy. How the body has to be made straight. The sitting posture is so important. The base on which you are sitting, that is evenly on both buttocks, not falling more on one side, falling more on the other side, that causes a change in your energy level. Do you know that? So you think it's so easy? If there's a slight change in the body Way you are sitting, then immediately there's a change of energy level. You understand? That is how it is. So even the sitting posture is very important for us to do. Any slightest change can cause a lot of problems. Even change in the flickering of the eyes draws the brain to one side. The brain in its turn, it pulls the body on one side, as a result of which the entire balance of energy is shifted. So what is the sense of doing it in any haphazard way? Teach them, teach the children to be more active, more playful. Sit with them, pass your time with them, energize them both in mind and in body. Games is what they need to play. Let them be sort of stimulated by certain games. By not just making them sit in front of a computer or something like that. That is your easy way out. You understand? All this you have to be very careful about. So yoga is not the end and end all. Yes, teach them yoga, but to a certain level. You yourself learn to practice with them. Also, it is more fun. For them, it's like a game. It is not anything serious. The children are playful and they need a change every minute. So they cannot hold on to a posture for long. So that is how it goes. So just let it move. Just let it move. Hello? Am I heard?
Yes, Auntie, go ahead.
Okay, because some phones are coming and I'm not picking it up. Such a pain, telephoning.
No, go ahead.
You tell me when I have to stop, no? Because this is what you need to understand. Okay, there are many ways people are selling these products. Yoga for the brain, yoga for this, yoga for that. So yoga is not different. Yoga is the same. It's only branded to suit your convenience, knowing your weakness. Okay, Baba, this is what it is. This is what you want, and this is what you're going to rush in for. So yoga is branded like any other commodity. There's no sort of hard and fast rule. There are no rules that they are following. They are only interested in making money. But you have to be wise. The same way with doctors. Doctors do not head or tail of yoga, but they will tell you. They tell you, go to yoga class and tell them to do this and tell them to teach you this and teach you that. So we are highly amused when they come with letters from the doctor. So what the hell does the doctor know? He's asking these people who are already under depression to sit and do meditation. So what are they going to think about their own depressed feelings? For heaven's sake. So it is being used and it is being misused. You need to be very careful as you go into it. To get a trusted teacher is very difficult. And especially teachers are trained to teach children. Those are separate kind of teachers. Who teaches an adult will not be able to teach a child the same way. A child is taught with numbers because the movements have to be very fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. So changing posture every count. The adult can't do it. They can't keep up to it also. So there are a set of teachers who are trained only for their children. There are a set of teachers trained only for adults. So this is what you have to go in for. You have to be very smart. You are not fools. And your child also has to take a liking for it. If it is drab, it is dull, it is heavy, then you don't expect a child to go in for it. He is not happy to do it. But you play with him, you laugh with him, make him enjoy it, and make it into like a game. And the cooperation is there from the child as well. But remember, this deep breathing and all, be very careful. The posture is very important in a child. Because these children have a very bad posture. They drop their shoulders, they drop their chest. So much so, the chest is caved inwards. The back is like a hump. This is what you need to open out. How can you do it? You make them lie down on the floor, place a bolster behind their back, so that not even a bolster is too big for a child, a little cushion under the back, so that you roll the shoulders over and see how the chest comes up. It blooms like a flower, the middle of the sternum, the side of the ribs, elongate the neck of the child, and now tell him to breathe. Slowly, slowly, you're going to fill the lungs up and make it into a game, make it into a kind of an entertainment, and see how the child responds. We have children's classes in our institute also, but unfortunately for the 1 year, everything is closed, everything is online. So this is what I want to tell you. Please don't be carried away by false promises. And most of the teachers who claim that they are teachers are not teachers also. Please learn that. We are having a big problem with that. Big problem with that. Just students from the institute claim they are teachers and go around telling people, oh, we are qualified in this and we are qualified in that. And then people listen and they pay just to get what they want. But this is not the thing. Yoga is a sort of commodity which is on sale these days. So think before you do it. You yourself can help your child tremendously. They're working with her, playing with her, learning her to make her open her chest, to improve her posture, how the spine gets straightened, how to elongate the spine, to remove the curves of the spine. And sometimes because of a certain posture, even the spine is tilted on one side, the entire body is tilted on one side. One pelvic bone is coming out, the other is going in. All these things need an experienced teacher to understand, to see, and to work. You can't just put on a tape and start working on it and start jumping. You're going to do more harm than good to the child. So parents, be aware how these things are done and how carefully you have to handle these things. That's all I want to tell you. Even Karen's little one, she used to come to the yoga class. Initially, it was a little difficult for her, but then she caught up. And you will be surprised, she came after a gap of so many days, and then she told me what the sequence of her exercises were. I never expected her to remember all that. But she did it so sweetly. The sequence, this comes after this, and we did this, and then we did that, and then we did that. You see, there's a lot of labor and love that is involved in bringing up such a child. Remember, it's a chosen child. A child has come to you. You haven't asked for it. It is the child's choice that he has come to you to be nurtured, to be loved as it is, and to create awareness in your life and to prepare yourself to a path of spirituality which this child is going to guide you to. So understand that. Don't curse your fate. It is an act of love.
Absolutely.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Auntie. Auntie, a few questions for you. Is when should these children start yoga? At approximately what age would you suggest?
When should they start for yoga? Is maybe at the age of 7 to 9. 7 to 9, they can start, because you see the body is not fully developed. The body gradually starts developing. Their hands are not fully developed. The neck is not fully developed. And gradually it keeps on developing. So just plain exercises of hand lifting, opening your chest, breathing, moving on of your limbs. or doing a few exercises of Surya Namaskar, and more of the dog pose, and moving forward for the cobra pose. All those things are learned to align the body.
Okay.
The body, which is otherwise tamasic and lopsided, gets sort of what you call an energetic feeling. And you have to make it interesting. You can't do the same thing in day in and day out. You have to change. You can have at least 3 sort of charts where you do this, I'll do today, tomorrow I'll do this, and that, and again repeat the same on the first day again. So it's up to you how you keep your child involved and interested in it. There are certain days that they don't feel like doing it. There are certain days they feel like doing it. But remember, you can't force a child to do what it's not keen on doing. Yes, you can offer them rewards. Yeah, you do this and we'll do this. That is human nature. And anyway we do it with the children. So that's it.
Auntie, what pranayams would you say, or what exercise asanas would you say should be absolutely avoided because of whatever repercussions it might have on the child? So, which one should be absolutely not done by these kids?
See, since a young age, wait till they settle down, especially the girls start getting their period and all that. And and it depends on each child's state of mind and state of body. Like inversions, Sarvangasana, Halasan is good for them. But Shirsasana, unless you are doing it differently, like we do it on the ropes, hanging from the ropes, so that the weight of the body is not on the head. The knee gets, the neck is elongated, the rest of the body is also elongated. So Sarvangasana, Halasan, they can play about it. Go to Sarvangasana, neck balance, now go to Halasan, and now come down and again do it. So that kind of a thing. Because for them, numbers and quick action to catch their attention.
Okay.
But basically, yes, please.
Yes, Auntie. And what would you think would be most beneficial to them?
Yeah, first of all, proper posture, spinal development. Take a few Surya Namaskars, take a few standing poses, go more for the dog pose, because that automatically is a correcting influence on the spine. Because you think the spines are very straight, they are not straight. Some of them are crooked, some have space in between, some hips or pelvic bones are protruding outwards. So all this is to be seen and observed. You cannot say, all right, you can do this, and this. You cannot write out prescriptions for everybody. It is different in every state. That is why the teacher has to be smart, understanding, and knowing her job.
Okay. Auntie, we have yoga, basically 4 types. Yoga works on the level of one's body, mind, emotion, and energy. This has given rise to 4 broad classifications of yoga: karma yoga, where you use the body; bhakti yoga, where you use emotions; jnana yoga, where you use the mind and intellect; and kriya yoga, where you use the energy. Which of this would you recommend for children with special needs, and why?
Kriya yoga, of course, energy.
Okay. Positive energy.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Create energy, and it gives them life, it stimulates their body, it stimulates their mind. That is more important. Otherwise, they are like vegetables and what you call, they are tamasic.
Okay.
That inertia is there in the body,
Okay. So through yoga is said to have though yoga is said to have so many benefits, a wrong meditation technique, like you said, you shouldn't be doing meditation. It can do more harm than good.
Not at all.
Okay. So downsides of yoga also, I understand from the downsides of yoga, meditation can include panic attack, depression, anxiety, negative thinking.
Okay, okay. I'll tell you. I'll
These
give you
kind of
an
things.
example.
Is it true?
Of course, until they lead
Okay.
to mental derailment also. There's one lady
Oh my
who
God.
is a counselor, means she's understanding the mind and the working of the mind, right? She's in the council in the schools, and she went in for some Tibetan or God knows what meditation. And somebody rang me up, you know this lady? I said, yes, I know her. And she's in very bad shape. She cannot sit, she cannot stand. Please, can I bring her to you? Because she has to catch a plane and tomorrow to go to America to her children. She came shaking, shivering, and I knew that was a case of nerves. I said, what did you do? Oh, I did such a live meditation and this, and what did you do? Online. I said, does the teacher will know you exist in the class and what your problems are? No, but it was for 1 hour, then 2 hours, and 3 hours, and then I couldn't get up. And what was your condition before you sat? I was absolutely normal. Because as I went on opening up certain areas, you see certain areas of my body started getting caught. So whole night she was in pain, she cried, she couldn't sleep, and she under mental torture that she was such a bad person and she had all the bad qualities, and she was to leave the next day. I just made her do Shavasana, just plain Shavasana, asking her to relax her body, her mind, and her breath. It mustn't be more than 20 minutes. And I said, enough, that's all. Just get up and see how you feel. And that shivering and shaking had completely gone from the body as well as from her voice and tone. And she was completely calm. And she told me, even those pains that I got after this are completely gone. I said, you induce all this. What makes you think you're capable of meditation and this and that? It's not meant for everybody. And online, the teacher doesn't know what you are doing. Who's guiding you? He's sitting on the platform and talking. You see, it can cause a lot of damage to a person's psyche. So if you can damage an adult, what about a child?
True, very true.
Can
Auntie,
you
some
imagine?
asanas, sorry,
Yes, go on.
some asanas are considered dangerous for some people. And generally for children, I mean, they should be avoiding those, which according to you would be dangerous for these children if they try to do it.
You see, it depends on the child itself, what the child's problems are and how what one man's food is another man's poison.
True.
It's like that. You cannot just label that this one is bad, so nobody must do it. So that is the way it is. One man's food is another man's poison.
What
So
about
the teacher
Sarvanga
has to have,
Asana and all? Auntie, don't you think that will be a little difficult for these kids to do?
but it takes time to understand that body and to make them do it. It is not done on the floor. You have to give it a little height. The neck must not get compressed. So the two blankets are there. The head is on the floor. The lift is there. The teacher's holding your legs. She's lifting you from the weight. She's holding you and allowing you to go down to halasana. First taking one leg down, come up again. She's holding you and supporting you throughout. There's no question of fear.
But that does not happen online.
No, that is why I'm telling you. This is a herd tendency that everybody, like a herd of buffaloes, cows, you all go under one label.
True, very true.
Yes. And then it does more damage than good. And you spend your time trying to rectify the damage that you've created. And children are very sensitive. Very sensitive.
Thank you so much.
And you have to approach them with a lot of love and affection. Thank you, dear. Thank you. And I'm sorry for the problems that I created. I
No. It happens. Thank you so much, Auntie. That was very informative, very educating, and a lot of information that you have cleared up for us and made it more understandable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome. You're welcome.
We have with
Thank
us
you so much.
Jyoti Nair. She is a certified yoga instructor and mom to a child with special needs. Her yoga practice has helped her stay strong and calm through the turbulent times every parent with special needs go through. She she is working on creating a yoga program for children with special needs to help them in a holistic way. Yes, Jyoti.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. Thanks for inviting me. And it was really a very special moment for me to listen to Navaz ma'am because I've heard so much about her. And the way she speaks, it's so like, that this is what's not right to put, like you can, the way she told us that in today's world, which is really happening, we are a world of YouTube and Google and everything. And right now with lockdown, I think we are more dependent on that. And first thing I would like to tell all the parents, especially me myself being a parent with special needs, that's why this topic is close to my heart. I can understand what another parent would be going through because we all are just running behind therapies. We want our kids to improve. And many times we feel that yoga is okay, there's nothing, no harm that's going to be done, but that is very wrong perception. You can harm even for a regular kid, regular, I would say neurotypical kid also, it can cause a lot of issues, so then with our kids, you can just imagine, like, if they are not able to even tell us what's going on with them, and we just continue doing without having a proper instructor, a proper teacher who understands the child. So where are we taking ourselves? So first of all, I would say that please do not look up on YouTube and Google and try to make your own thing for your child and do thinking this is just some breathing, thinking this is just something like Nawaz ma'am said, pranayam is not even supposed to be done, because it is even in Patanjali's yoga, it is mentioned in Ashtanga yoga, it is the fourth limb, it is after asana, after your body is ready, you go into it, so people are just like, do kapalbhati, do this, do that, and all, like, and these will really harm. So please, this is my first request, do not go and don't go and look up, and please do not try anything. Go to a teacher who understands. First of all, you should understand one thing: there is no one size fits all over here. It is very individualistic. Your kid is different, even like my kid has got autism. She is different from another kid who has autism also. So even what I apply for her, I cannot apply for that other kid. I have to first of all understand what is the challenge here, what is this child, and more than anything, I have to accept this child willingly. The child should feel secure. It should be a non-judgmental space here for the kid. The kid should be ready to trust you, to open up. So these qualities first, those should be more in the teacher than the actual hold your hand straight and do this thing straight. That comes much later, and that also you will decide based on how the kid is going to respond, or how the kid is taking each thing. So these are very minute things. So my first thing is, please don't self teach yourself and don't read from books and all. No, yoga you have to learn from a guru only, and then it will get imbibed into you. And even then, I feel even if I have a lifelong thing, I would have even not learned 1%. So that is where I am. So that is my thing. But saying that, yeah, because I would like to create a program for our kids, and I will always use the term our kids. I will not use the term special kids here. So for our kids, I want to have a holistic program where yoga may not be by itself, but it is integrated. Suppose there's an OT or a sensory integration session going on. There, of course, yoga can be integrated because there are many things which help. The yoga can help over there with the asanas and all. You can help in that. Or before a child, suppose he has a session and that session is going to be stressful, that there are, you calm down the child through different techniques, those are there. Studies have been done, research has been done on this, authenticated research has been done. So yes, yoga can help if and only if it is done in the right way. So that should be our approach when we go forward, that we first understand and we start with baby steps. We start with baby steps. We see where we are progressing. We start with the simplest of things, and your child will only teach you whether you're going in the right direction or not. You don't need to look anywhere else. You will get that input immediately from the child, how it is going. It doesn't matter your child is verbal, non-verbal, your child is on a wheelchair. Even on a wheelchair there are many things which you can do, like to help a kid. Like there is with chair, we can do chair yoga and all, but everything has to be done very systematically. Everything has to be documented. For each child you should have a separate thing. Some child is more comfortable working in alone. For some kids, group things will work out. So that is what you have to understand and take it slowly, not push into it, and never ever make it a commercial thing. I feel that is most important over here, because many, even with therapies I have seen, I have my own experience. Some therapists are really good, they're so connected with the kid, and they really, then some tend to make. So that's there everywhere, not only in yoga, is there all across. So I think these are things which we should uh, be aware of as parents. Yeah.
Right. Um, Tell us, Jyoti, which yoga technique would you recommend for children with our children, which would benefit them most? Which technique?
So, like ma'am herself said, there is no one thing for all. It will not work that way. Now we
Okay.
have different special needs groups, or kids like with different difficulties or disabilities. We have kids on the autism spectrum. We have kids with ADHD, cerebral palsy, sensory processing disorders, and many more. Learning disabilities. Everything we have. So you have to take the child, see what is the, sit with the parent, understand the child, what is the problem actually, where is the child facing the difficulty, and what are the kids strengths. Because we always try to work on the weaknesses, but why don't we know the strength first? So if I know the strength of my child, I know this will be a motivation for him or her to come. If first only I try to work on the weakness, the kid is demotivated. We all are, we give up. Then we don't want to do anymore. Why not work on the child's strength, bring the kid into your this, and then you go on. So like different techniques which can help kids would be asanas, definitely, because many of the kids, the body is rigid, muscles are rigid, so there are many asanas, and they help with this flexibility,
Flexibility.
spine flexibility. Like ma'am said, the posture, your spine should be, so basic. Like even if you do a basic stretching which a child will understand, just take your hands up. You don't have to go give too many instructions. And like, feel somebody is lifting you up. So the child will automatically, without you telling, lift this hand up, lift that hand up, and keep your weight all on your legs both straight, without giving those instructions. Make it fun for the kid. To a level the kid will understand. Like with my daughter, I tell, feel that somebody's pulling you up. Like, so immediately it will be like, it'll go straight up, and you'll try to lift your spine up, and then you give the other instructions slowly, like to them.
Okay.
So asanas definitely help with your muscle flexibility, with reducing the rigidity, with your spine flexibility. Then basically, see, what is yoga in a simple thing which we understand, not going into the depths of it and understanding. It's an integration. Yoga is huge. It is union. So basically the bigger thing is the union of your consciousness, your pure consciousness, with the universal consciousness. When I am one, that is the ultimate aim. Okay, we are not going there, but on our basic level, what do we understand? Integration of our body, our mind, and our soul. These three things, when we integrate, we are moving forward very, like, holistically. So here, what is happening with our kids? Their bodies are somewhere else. Sometimes they don't have body awareness. They're not able to, like, understand it. Then the signals which are going to the brain are all jammed up. The brain is not giving the proper motor responses. So through asanas, we can help this integration to happen. We can start the step for this integration to happen. So in that way, asanas definitely would be. Then breathing techniques, which I wouldn't tell like you go into pranayama specifically, I would name them, but simple breathing, like the way we breathe. All of many times, when we have a class, we just are like, okay, start breathing, just inhale, exhale, and just observe. Half of them will be doing it the opposite way. Like when they inhale, they will take the abdomen inside, and when they exhale, they will take it out. That is the opposite way. Many of us do it, told consciously to do it. You see a baby lying, a newborn baby or 1-2 month old baby. You see when they inhale, how their stomach goes up. When they exhale, their stomach comes down. That's a natural way of breathing. So we teach the kid from there. We started very slowly. You just make the child lie down, tell them to think that their stomach is a balloon. Inhale, you fill the air in the balloon. So automatically they'll take their stomach outside, Exhale, release the air from the balloon. Very simple technique, not going into too much of complications, nothing, something a child can understand, So then they start over there, and then when you repeatedly do it, it gets into your system. So next time I tell them, after few months ahead, inhale and exhale, it will come automatically without me giving them these instructions. So start from basic things, and then you move on to other things. Then there are many benefits in things like mantra chanting, which is more simple than going into some meditation and all that kind of things, which we don't know where, but a basic like Om chanting. 3 times we do Om chanting, and don't give too much of instructions. When they reach a certain level, then you take them one step forward. Always let them reach a certain level, then take them one step forward. So that is basically, like, I would say that you take, these are some techniques which could help our kids with all our kids. Yeah, that is what I would like to say. So
Knowing yoga.
make it fun for the kid. That is the basic thing. Make it fun. Don't stress the child. The child is coming to you to get de-stressed. So please
Absolutely.
don't stress the kid with it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Knowing yoga is one thing, but application is another. How would you know what would help your child? How do you like take Samiksha for granted? How do you know what is helping her?
Okay, so with Samiksha now, because I have learned and I have trained, so I can understand, like, when she is walking, or sometimes she's hitting her leg very hard, so she needs a sensory input, so with her proprioceptive, some issue, she needs more, this from the environment. So I give her activities or asanas which will, like, really press her joints, like a downward dog or something. So that will give her that feedback, and that will help with the integration part. So in the same way, like I said, as a parent, you will not understand, okay? Because you don't know what is the issue. Now, when I go into any other therapy you go into, would you understand immediately what is no good or not? How will you understand? You will only understand whether it is making my child better, or whether this is even more, like, getting it into worse. But before that, what I would say is, anything that you do, you should be consistent, and you should be doing it for a period of at least 2 months or so. At least give it a try for at least that much time, and do it daily. Like, if you're taking a medicine for something to improve within you, any condition, do you take it in one day and just decide it's good for me or not? No, because sometimes we get worse and then get better. That also happens. Okay, so give yourself some time based on whatever the teacher instructs you. That for 2 months, if they say, okay, let me try this for 2 months, let me do it daily for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or what, take them to the teacher or wherever they're doing. And then when they get into it, but still after that period of time, you are not seeing anything happening, nothing at all, then you know that this thing is not suiting my kid, and this is not what I should be continuing. Or if you see something really, like, it's backfiring you a lot, then you will know that this is not working, and this is not the right way for the kid. So it is the feedback the kid herself or himself will give you that feedback. So application is different, and just knowing and hearing is very different, and for each kid it is different.
Very true. So it is said that yoga techniques help aid the physical and mental development of those with learning difficulties, physical disabilities, sensory impairments, and severe multiple disabilities, right across the age range.
Yes.
I'd like to know how you would know about techniques for sensory issues using yoga.
Okay, our sensory system is basically our 5 senses, which is like our hearing, seeing, and then your sense of smell, taste, touch, these 5 basic. And then there are 2 inner systems, which is a proprioceptive system, which tells us about more with the balance of the body, and the effect of the sense of the gravitational pull on our body. Like, suppose I am doing a pose where I am lifting, doing a Veerbhadrasana, warrior pose, both my hands are this, and my body will be turned on the side, whichever I'm turning, suppose left. How do I know this hand is in level with the shoulder? That is given to me by my vestibular system. It tells me this, where I am in relation to the gravitational pull. The other one is the proprioceptive system, which is our joint compression, our awareness of our body in space, where we are in space. So you can see some kids they will have like an overload. If they have in these systems, they will be rushing towards you, banging into walls, because they want that impact. They're not getting that from their body, so they're doing. And the others who are on hypo, in low level, they will want to not even want you to touch them. That is too much for them to take. So there is the information which our brain gets is from the three major systems. One is your tactile, one is your vestibular, and one is your proprioceptive. So sensory integration therapists are there. They are mainly OTs who are into sensory integration, also specialized. They have different techniques where they try to integrate these three systems. So in yoga also, this can be done, and very well. In fact, many of the OTs are now using yoga techniques for sensory integration. So like if I do asanas, if I do like again, if I do a downward dog, so the pressure I'm giving on my leg, the pressure I'm giving on my wrist, that is a proprioceptive and a tactile input that I am giving my brain. So the more I keep giving, the brain is able to integrate these systems, and then it is able to give the proper responses it is able to give to the body. Plus, once these systems are integrated, then and only then the higher functioning of our brain will take place, like with academic learning or higher motor control and all other things. So yes, definitely yogasanas help a lot. Like suppose even if I do a tree pose, like where my only one leg I am getting into the balance mode, I am becoming more aware of my body, where my body is in space. I can understand how much pressure my foot needs to give to stand erect and stand straight. So this awareness slowly comes into the child. But like I said, you have to take baby steps. You can't just tell a child, just go and stand in this and for proper support. You start with a wall, and then you slowly move. You bring the hand first to the chest, let them balance in this way. Then you take the hand up, you stretch the spine, very, very slow baby steps. But the day the child does that, the child will also feel good that they have. So yoga is one of the physical one of the ways in which the kid can connect to its own body, and this integration of this body and mind takes place. Plus, in this what happens is, when the kids learn the breathing pattern also, like when we do in asanas, like I said, first you teach them the basic thing till it is internalized within them. And then when you go ahead, when this breath and the movement is coordinated, then it even it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the one which calms your body. Generally, these kids, they have their sympathetic nervous system is always activated. They're in the flight or fight mode, very anxious. I see it with my daughters. Anything she gets more anxious. Right now, she's much calm, but earlier it was like much more. So we will always try that the parasympathetic nervous system is able to override this, and they are able to calm their bodies. So definitely asanas, definitely breathing techniques, and definitely the easier things, like I said, like mantra chanting, all these things will help the kid. And like I would say about meditation, what is meditation actually? Focus. It doesn't mean we have to sit closing our eyes for so many hours. From a kid's point of view, what would I call meditation? I saw very good when I was trying to research about special needs in Kaivalya Dham in Lonavala, one of our premier oldest institutes for yoga, where they did this experiment with children from special needs group. They saw good thing, and there the person, she spoke that they had a tree planting drive where each kid was given a tree, and when they were digging and when they were planting and when they were doing, they were not bothered about anything around them. They were so focused. Now that is dharana, that is the focus. Why do you need to keep a candle and make the kid look at it? No, you don't need to do that. You're in nature, you're connecting the kid, you're doing this. So see, in these ways you can do. This is all yoga. This is not different. You don't have to just do asanas. That is the thing.